Now, an idea inspired by another great conference from the US brought to Amsterdam, but with a twist. Please give it up for team TEDx Next!
All right, so TED and TEDx are both great platforms for spreading ideas, but it's not so good at turning ideas into action. It's all talk, no action. And I help organize the TEDx Trondheim conferences in Norway, and I've also talked to TEDx organizers from around the world, and we all want to take our events to the next level, which means not just spreading inspiring ideas, but how do you catalyze your local communities to do something about it? So last year, there was an event called TEDx Summit. 700 TEDx organizers from around the world came together. Over 100 of them worked on this action item, how to turn ideas into action. But the problem was that after that conference, everything kind of fell flat. Nobody really took ownership. What I think was missing is that there was no clear, compelling format. So just as how TED cracked the format for, what's an inspiring talk, 18 minutes or less and all that sort of stuff, same with Startup Weekend. That's a format in itself, something that replicates, that helps catalyze entrepreneurship. So we already have the regular TEDx events. That's a conference, right? This can serve as an inspiration to what we're proposing, TEDx Next. This is a follow-up event. It's more of a workshop style of event, and it's focused on specific challenges. So say, for instance, the challenge might be, how might we better connect people with where they get their food, or where their food comes from? So given that challenge, maybe at the original conference, we had talks about urban farming and gardening and food waste. And then you can think of the workshop style as almost like a mini startup weekend. So people propose solutions to this for this challenge. They self-organize into different teams. There's facilitation and mentorship throughout the day. There's a final pitch, an evaluation, and a winning concept comes out. One of the interesting aspects is we actually help realize these actions through challenge sponsors. So for instance, a company like Whole Foods might be very interested in this challenge, and they want to support this. So they might, either through financial means or through other methods, help support the winners to implement the solution. So this in itself is just the format. What we do is provide the resources. How do we support the organizers? So first we defined the format, but we also created a website which has guidelines, toolkits, best practices related to how do you describe the challenge, how do you coordinate your team, how do you facilitate these workshops, sponsorship, marketing, implementation, every aspect that startup weekend organizers already get to organize their events. Similarly, we would do tailored to this. We also have a sharing platform for our organizers. So this means TEDx organizers can then share their best practices, their lessons learned, their experiences, resources. They can even contact each other. So we directly talk to the TEDx organizers. Our platform is for the organizers, but it's a catalyst so that they can create local events which impact their local TEDx attendees and help them approach local challenge sponsors. But we will be supported by global sponsors. So sort of like how Startup Weekend has Google and Microsoft and other companies to support them. Really?
Yikes. Time flies when you're on stage.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question. You said it should be the TEDx Next is about challenges.
Yes.
Who says which will be the challenge? So who?
The local organizers. So just as how a local organizer organizes a conference with a specific topic or a theme, they will also decide what the challenge is.
Yeah, I think great idea. You're really banking on the TEDx brand.
Yes.
But could it be bigger? Could it be, turning all kinds of ideas into action? Why
it could
use
be,
the
but
brand
I would like to focus first on TEDx. There's 5,000 events, 1,500 cities, 140 countries. So if we can nail this down, these are the TEDx organizers that are very tapped into their local communities, so they can do something.
But then
real.
It's a product from TEDx. But it's not your own business then?
No. But this is a tremendous platform for creating real change throughout the world.
Cool. Okay.
So my question is, if you're going to clone Startup Weekend, why don't you just call it Startup Weekend?
Startup Weekend attracts people oftentimes that are more technical focused. Maybe they want to design apps, that sort of stuff. TEDx has a much broader reach.
But it still sounds like a talk shop the same way TEDx is. There's nothing about actual execution in it.
Well, no, I think because you would actually have tangible solutions that come out of it, and then you also have challenge sponsors that would help them implement it.
But it's not a lot of special sauce other than the TEDx brand.
The TEDx brand is pretty big.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
But what stops people from just joining the next startup weekend in whatever city they're in?
They can. I actually think Startup Weekend is great, but I also think this catalyzes a different types of projects that maybe aren't startup focused, but they're still real solutions to real problems.
Did you talk with TEDx about it? Because I
Yes.
can imagine. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get to the validation. So I talked to organizers from Alaska, from United Arab Emirates, all that sort of stuff, and also the guy that organized the 100 people at the TEDx Summit conference. He really was impressed by this idea, and he invited me to organize the action piece for TEDx in New York in the UN headquarters.
Okay, because if I was the brand owner of TEDx, and I was thinking about brand extension, and if I liked it, then I should do it, because I think it's not a jury decision, but it's a brand decision. So if TEDx likes it, then it's okay.
Yeah, so I will be in contact with them.
Okay.
So speaking of action, did you build something this weekend?
A website with the resources and guidelines, just the beginnings of it.
And did you talk to potential customers?
Yes, we talked to 7 organizers, and we got feedback from them.
Are those your customers?
Huh?
Are the organizers your customers?
Yeah. We are directly contacting the TEDx organizers. That's our platform is for organizers.
So you have your special sauce that you're licensing to the organizers, and then they charge to the attendees?
Yeah, it's not really licensing. It's just we're supported by our global sponsors. They'll be able to do it for free to replicate the event. It's just a format.
All right, thank you very much.